Our most loved ones, kids, hooked on technology and disconnected from nature. And we, as parents, try to encourage them to go outside, explore and play, and teach them history. Yet, it seems hopeless at times. Nokta Macro. Introducing the world's first waterproof kids detector series. Mini and Mini Horde. Easy to use. Lightweight and compact. Find, discriminate, and pinpoint. Just like an adult's detector. Share your hobby with your kids to build great family memories. Let your kids discover a world full of adventure, experience and excitement of discovery right outside their door. Mini and Mini Horde, world's first waterproof kids detector series for the young treasure hunters of the future.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Good evening, it's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock and it's the Big Detecting Show. Now, first and foremost, I must apologise for those of you who are able to watch tonight. Due to the new setup on Facebook, there is a communication error between Facebook and lots of streaming sites. So that means hardly anywhere is able to stream live to Facebook. So unfortunately, we've only been able to share the YouTube link. So that's what's happened. So for people who are thinking that they haven't been able to watch, that's the reason why. If you are watching, thank you for coming. Let's have a break. Oh, maybe screen massive then. Hello to Darren Booth. Got some lovely images of Darren's to have a brief look at. Nicola Roberts, Ricky Hill, Detector Network, Scott Holden, Bob Hope, Tony Kaywood, Scotty B, Dominic Tomschick. I'm getting so good at that. And XP. Hello, XP. And Detecting the Mitten. Oh, I like that. And, of course, the Discriminator metal detecting. So, yes, it's a funny old week. Also, the news wouldn't download. So the news broadcast that we put together weekly, obviously, that's gone Pete Tong as well. So we're having one of them weeks where we have technical issues. But the main technical issue isn't our own issue. And new hat. Thank you to Scotty Holden for the hat. Isn't it wonderful? Unfortunately, if I put them around the screen lights on, it becomes a green screen, so we'll leave them off. So anyway, I think what we're going to do first and foremost is share the screen and have a look at... Now, news obviously is a little bit shorter than it has been of late, but we will have a look at the news that we've got. We've got 3 items, and wait for the screen to connect, and there it is. So the first up, a rare King Stephen coin found by metal detectorist Graham Rushton of Unearthed UK was found in 2018 and it sold for £8,500. Isn't that beautiful? The coin features Stephen and his wife on one side and a cross and other ornaments on the other. He found this on the Lincolnshire South Yorkshire border, and this was sold by auctioneers Dix Noonan Webb this week. It was minted in York in the early 1140s and is a fine example of the time and only 25 known examples. Now we do have another Dix Noonan Webb sale shortly, and that will be via our website. Now the other big news for the week, this gentleman, now if you follow the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, you'll note that we have for the past 4 or 5 years followed with great bated breath all the things around the Forest of Fens treasure. And sadly last week, just a few months after his the artifacts and the coins etc. that in his treasure were allegedly found, unfortunately Forest Fen passed away. Why is it doing that? Stop it. Forest Fen passed away. So that's one of the articles for the past week. So sad news over from America, from somebody who is brought so much to the world of modern day treasure hunting, and I know there's a hell of a lot of people passed away looking for the treasure, but even so it was great to be able to follow that story in depth. Finally, on the news on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine website, www.archmdmag.com, is, now you've got to love this, you know what I'm like with words. When we had the Welsh folk on last week, I couldn't pronounce half the things they said and places, and here we have another. So I have termed it Hinafata Falafel. So the Hinata Falafel pieces that were discussed. Why is it doing that? Stop it. As you can see, a Viking gaming set, a bit like chess. This sold this week. It was found in Lincolnshire again. It's a Viking game from the 9th century. 27 pieces were found. 24 spherical pieces, 12 turreted pieces, and the king. I downloaded a free app and tried playing Naffle Flaffle last night, and it is way beyond me. I couldn't get my head around it at all. And this sold in total for £2,600, and then there was obviously fees on top of that. This was discovered by Mick Bott in Lincolnshire, 73-year-old. And I'm going to stop saying Hanaffle Flaffle now because I can't do it anymore. So I'm going to bring in our co-host, Mr. Adrian Gaylor. Adrian, how are you this fair evening?
I'm fine, thanks, Dave. Thanks very much for letting me on again.
Can you? It's not letting you on. You're part of the team now.
Oh, that's
team,
nice.
Team
yeah,
Big
there's
Detective
no I in
Show.
team. No, I didn't.
There is. If you do it in block capitals on the A, you can make an I in the A.
Yeah,
Don't
you've
you do
obviously
that?
tried. I haven't tried. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Dave. You?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Can you pronounce naffle?
I've actually had it for about 3 or 4 years now. Play it regularly Friday nights, Saturday nights with my wife.
Can you pronounce it, though?
No, I don't. I've bloody never seen it in my life. It does look good. I think that's quite cheap. What was it, $2.5 grand?
Yeah.
Considering what it is. And
Definitely.
Yeah, if I had the money, I'd love something like that. Yeah.
I mean, as I say, Adrian, there's an app called Hanaffle that you can download for free, and obviously you can play against the computer or you can play against people online, and it's I could play chess. I'm no grandmaster, but I can play chess. I played at school, but when it comes to the Hanaffle, it's I couldn't. I didn't even know from the start. I knew how to move things, but that was it. I kept on getting things taken.
Yeah, no, I think I might get it for my son for Christmas and get rid of his PlayStation. I'm sure he'd enjoy it more.
Drop kick the PlayStation out the window. No problem with that.
I don't think he uses it that much.
Nah, kids these days, they don't know what Hanaffle is.
No.
Anyway, so have you been out and about?
Yes, been out Saturday, Sunday last week, and last Friday I took the day off work because of coronavirus. No one's going. Well, I'm not going abroad on holiday, so I've got loads of holiday spare. So the housing managers released me sort of the odd days out in the week to go detecting. So went out with my mate James. He's not in here tonight. He found a gold stater.
Marvellous.
Yeah, we found our permission. We found a nice little Roman bit near a brook. So we've been out there. I've been out with the Apex and also briefly with the new Evo 6000, which very, very early days. So yeah, and of course my Rutus, which I always like, my Alt 71.
You mentioned the Evo in, I think it's about 3 weeks, the 8th of October. We've actually got Martin Bass coming on the show. And I've obviously asked you because you've had some time with the machine now to come on as the co-host again. And obviously you'll be able to question Martin more in depth than I am about the machine and give hopefully some ideas as to what's what. Yeah,
it'll be interesting what it turns out to be. I mean, Seascope been going 44 years now this year, and they're not as big as obviously some of the big metal detecting people out there. So it'd be interesting what the Evo performs like actually in the field. But it's totally different to the old, obviously first LCD machine they brought, upgradable software and stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, you know, both myself and many of the viewers have an affinity with Seascope. I mean, I've got not dissimilar the original one that my dad had back in 44 years ago. So I'd look for a lot of time for Martin, lovely bloke, and a lot of time for Seascope as well. So I'm looking forward greatly to learning more about the Evo.
And you can ask him about the boats.
Boats?
Yeah, not a lot of people realise that same company make topper sailing dinghies. So they're like little one-man racing dinghies. Really popular. I sailed one when I was a lot younger, like a laser, if anyone knows sailing. They make sailing boats as well.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't realise that.
We'll ask him about that.
We will indeed. Shall we have a look at this week's viewers' finds, Mr. Gaylor?
Yes.
Right you are. I will share the screen, Mr. Higgins. And I will, there we go, pop into here.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so it looks like...
In fact, firstly, before we go, I forgot about this. Can I just read this out, Adrian? It's the update from the National Council for Metal Detecting yesterday about the current coronavirus and obviously things changing and such like. Guidance on the law around events in England have been clarified yesterday. Below is a summary of the new regulation guidance. Anyone organising a dig where they're planning to have more than 6 in attendance, including staff, will be running an event. So this means, as an example, anyone planning to have 12 people with 6 on 2 fields will be running an event. Only a registered business or charity can organise an event. Charities are defined below. We won't do that bit. Where an event takes place, all attendees must be kept in groups of no more than 6 unless from the same household. This means the organiser must ensure all groups of 6 do not mingle at any time. Event organisers must be COVID secure and comply with track and trace legislation and the other event regulations, including liaising with local authorities. Full guidance is in the link below. If you look on the National Council for Metal Detecting website or Facebook page, you'll be able to find that. Please ensure you read the guidance fully. Note, all the guidance is backed by legislation in Schedule 22 of the Coronavirus Act 2020. The police have legal powers to disperse groups of more than 6 and issue a £100 penalty ticket to individuals, £50 if paid within 14 days. This doubles within every extra offence, rising to £3,200 for 6 offences or more. Additionally, organisers of illegal gatherings in England can be fined £10,000. So please think ahead when it comes to your events, and if you really want to get caught. Check this out, Adrian. I'm not 100% sure who this gentleman is. He's got a nice hat on, by the way, a nice Reuters hat, but this is one of the T-shirts in stock currently on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine shop. Just dig it. Look at that. Oh. Luke walked past him in the field and had to double take. So thank you for that. I hope it's decent. Luke said it's a good quality anyway. The only regret the gentleman in question had was that he bought it in white while going metal detecting.
Big mistake, yeah.
Anyway, next up. Now, these are Darren Boo's images. I've only chosen a few because obviously we haven't got the time. But this is a Roman hoard that Darren found, I think, last year. And as you can see in the hole, there is the start of the hoard. Nice. These are some of the coins found in the hoard. And I've no idea what's what. They're very beautiful, but I have no idea what's what, I'm afraid. Look at that one, bottom right. Isn't that lovely?
Mm. Nice.
This is the excavation by, I presume, the Portable Antiquities Scheme or local archaeologist.
Ooh.
So I'm not 100% how many there actually are, but I'm going to try and get some more information off Darren. Been a little bit busy, so I've not been able to crack on with what I wanted to in the last week or so. This is Darren Richardson. He's put them in a group. Look at them, bit of bone. Look at that spindle whorl there, isn't that nice?
Mm.
Sorry. This is Daz Richardson. This is Daz from work. One of them peculiar things. I was sat in a canteen in another department, and this chap walked past and double took, and he went, "Are you Dave Sadler?" I said, "Yeah, he went to watch you on the big detecting show." So some lovely lead tokens and what have you there as well. Nice. Closer view, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now this is Mr. Gary Cook. And this is a bit of hack gold. Very nice. So you can see how small it is in relation to a silver sixpence.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
He says this. No, he says it's a very small bell. He think it's a hawking bell.
Oh, hawking bell. Yeah, I think they normally had a little stem on the top, some of them. I've got a few hawking bells.
I've not got a crotal bell, never mind a hawking bell.
Haven't you? Oh.
No.
Nice buckle. Oh, figure. Oh.
Lovely. This is Gary Cook again. This is Ian Jackson from the group, and this is, I think it says a Hadrian Roman coin that he's recently found. The obverse is coming up. There it is. And some more Roman items that he's discovered as well. This one's a little Roman Aladdin's lamp, I think. This was a lipstick tube.
Ah.
And this is John Clayton some of the finds that he's had on the beach over the past week or so. Lots of bottle tops, and a plastic dinosaur, and a zip, and some pound coins that you can't use in any machines for brews at work anymore. Now this, even I thought it was a finger at the start. It just looks like a fingertip, doesn't it?
Oh, I won't comment.
But I'm not 100% sure. I think it must be some form of rock or fossil, with that being the reverse of it. Yeah. But that was John Clayton again. This is Cy Weller, next week's guest, with his dad, Chris Weller. I thought it was Paul Weller, but I was wrong. And some more of his finds as well. Larger collection of his most recent finds.
That's proper showing off, isn't it? Too big for kitchen roll.
I know,
he has to use the tea towel for that.
I use a small square of toilet roll normally. So there you go. That's this week's viewers' finds. So thank you to everybody who's put them on the group, and it's been great to look through them. And as I say, Daz Booth, I'm going to obviously be contacting you because I'm very, very curious to find out more information. And there's the other thing that I wanted to publish this week was the boys' pal stare from last week. Remember it? With the hound's head on. I wasn't 100% sure with the information, the pal stare and what have you, so I wanted to get some back to a few people regarding that anyway, just so I could make sure it was all right. So anyway, that's this week's finds. Some lovely bits in there, Adrian.
Yeah, very nice. Good people sending them in.
It is. It's great.
I should do it really, but
Tony Kaywood should as well, really. But Tony Kaywood never does.
He's busy writing his book on buttons. He'll get that.
Marvellous. Right. Oh, the skeet was Jamie's. Right. Okay, I'm with you. Not Simon's. I do apologise. Si put them on the page, so I automatically presume they were with Simon. So well done to him. And what's doing here? Every time I bloody do something, my page goes bigger. Look, you're dead smut now, you're big again. Anyway, without further ado, shall we bring on this week's guest before I throw my computer out the window?
Yeah, Chris.
Good evening, Chris.
Hello, guys. Hi, Adrian, Dave. How are we all doing?
Evening, Chris.
I'm semi-stressed with the fact that Facebook is being a blurt, but otherwise marvellous. How's yourself?
Yeah, I can't complain. Your stresses are not mine. I'm sat here just having a beer.
Well, it's been an absolute corker of a week anyway. I mean, I thought Luke had contacted you, and Luke thought I'd contacted you, and it ended up being oh poo. Let's contact Chris quickly, and thankfully you were still able to come on tonight. So, and obviously Adrian as well. But schedule's back on, and I've contacted people directly now to. I think the only one we haven't got for the coming weeks is the 1st of October for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So, thank you for pleasuring me with your company. not in that way. Not in that way.
Can we do that? I don't think YouTube don't allow that, do they?
Adrian can.
Can he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at him in the field.
That green screen up there. That's low and slow in the background there.
Yeah, that bloke's not moved for a bit.
No, that's
anyway. Chris, if you don't mind, for people who don't often watch this show, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course. I am Chris, a.k.a. the Discriminator from the Discriminator Metal Detecting channel. And that's about all you need to know, really, other than I love metal detecting. I did about 5 or so years under the umbrella of LP at the moment, thanks to Mr. Peter Turrell, and just recently a Mind Lab Detexpert. Which I'm getting better with MindLab. I hate to, because look, it says expert within it, and I don't think I'm there yet. But they put enough faith in me that I'll get there, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm doing all right. There's lots and lots of fields open at the moment, rallies left, right, and centre, and it's non-stop. So it's a busy life being a YouTuber on a metal detecting channel at the moment, and long may that continue.
Well, just be careful out there. Obviously, with the COVID restrictions, we don't want you getting fined £3,200.
Well, no, indeed. I'm not going to go there.
And you've also just said Pete Turrell, and I'm like, have I been pronouncing it wrong for the past 5 years?
No, I just do anything I can to annoy him. I barely ever call him by his name. There's other words, expletives normally. I know he's watching. He said he was going to log off the moment I came on, but I don't care.
Yes, he's abusing
No
us in
way.
our similar headphones. Do we shop at the same headphone shop? Which they're not. They don't even, just because they're the same colour, they're not even alike.
No, I mean, I don't want to brand shame or anything, but mine are quite nice. A brand beginning with S, they're all right. A bit wonky, has to be said, but there we go.
And Tony Kaywood, he's said in the comments, as you are obviously a detexpert, just to remind everybody that, there you go, Tony and Adrian are both Rootus experts.
And someone's got to do that, haven't they? You know, someone has to do that. Sorry.
Battle of the bands. Battle of the bands.
Bring it on, come on.
Yeah.
No, it's a great honour to work for YLab and work for any manufacturer.
It's nice helping people out now and
Yeah,
again.
of course it is.
I'm a Mars expert.
You've already had one, Dave, haven't you?
Yeah, that's just in case I have a hypo, because I might have took
right.
too much insulin. I never know.
Pete
says you can have a fight to the death, an expert off.
An expert off.
Oh,
Two
right,
experts
okay.
enter, one expert leaves.
We could play top trumps with our machines. That'd be good. Actually, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Ooh.
It's not even a competition, mate. It's not a competition.
Pete, get on it.
That would be
Get creating battle cards. But what would be the top trump?
I mean, Pete doesn't stock, Seascape or Rootus, as far as I know. So he's going to back me in. It's going to be easy, isn't it?
No, but he's got to create the card collection. So what would be in fact, everybody can say what is the metal. We're going to have to go on with this, aren't we? The metal detecting top trumps.
Yeah,
it's going to be
I
the
remember
800, isn't it?
Well, yes, but on the trump, you could have weight. So the highest weight.
I'll win that.
No, not you personally, but
right, okay.
Say, for example, you had a Viking, for example, up against a Deus, and that you had the highest weight, you might beat the Deus. I don't know. Could be, yeah. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
it?
a tenuous win, isn't it? I think weight surely would be a negative, wouldn't it? The lower the weight, the higher the score, surely.
Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley. Shirley is actually my nickname, by the way.
Oh, bless you, darling.
That was Big Daddy's name, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was nicknamed Shirley when I was younger because Barbara didn't suit me. True story.
No, it doesn't. You're right. Absolutely.
Okay.
You should go with Shirley.
Shirley it is. Number of frequencies. Rootus Ultra 71. Another top trump.
Yeah, 71 frequency.
Could go with that. Different types of carbon stems. I think the Nox wins that one.
Yeah.
Amount of available coils.
Yes, and random plastic manufactured bits you can add to a Nox. To make it look ridiculous.
3D printing, yeah.
Yeah, take a light machine, make it heavy, guys. Cover it in stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Sexiest looking machine.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Nox again, given all the additions on it. Made it look sexy.
I think so. But I think the CTX with a 17-inch coil on is, for me, it's what is it? I can't think of the word. Is it BBW?
Oh, dear.
Big woman.
Oh, it's got all the curves. It's a big daddy, isn't it? We've gone back on a wrestling again. Big Daddy was there.
Don't call me Shirley. Anyway, shall we move on? Because we're just going to end up talking malarkey all night, aren't we? And we can get to asking young Christopher some questions. Whereabouts in the UK do you live, young Christopher?
Norfolk, the single best place to metal detect, apparently, in the universe.
And is it?
I mean, it has its moments.
As we'll see by some of your finds that you've sent over in a wee while.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that will show us up for how good it is at times. But I'm based in Norwich, for anyone who really wants to know that, because Norfolk's quite a big county. But yeah, from Norwich, and I'll go all over the place around Norfolk.
Yeah, my grandfather's hometown, Norwich.
Is it?
Yeah. So,
any particular sort of part, suburb, or is he in the city?
He was in the police, just out of the city. In the
Was
CID many years ago. He's gone now. He's passed away. But yeah, so quite often used to go up there and watch football. But moved to Essex. So he's the grandfather who didn't do detecting. My other grandfather did detecting in the 70s, and that's where I sort of got the bug. I mean, what got you into it, Chris? Out of interest, detecting.
It's a slow burn, but around 2000, I worked with he's kind of an archaeologist. He was a publicist who did things. I shan't say his name or anything, but he used to take me field walking. I always loved history anyway, but field walking was just a little sort of leisure activity. He'd take me out for an hour or two on lunch breaks, and just roaming pottery everywhere on these fields. And then one day I found a flint axe head. Sorry, not a flint axe head. It was a flint spearhead. And that just got me into the fact that you could literally just walk around our county and just find history laying on the surface, and it just absolutely captivated me. I was like, that's incredible. And looking back now, I know he had some metal detectors in the corner of the office, and I feel gutted that we never went out because the land would have been prime. But there we go. And he gave me a Roman coin one day. I swapped it for a big sherd of pottery I found. And I think I even gave him the flint spearhead, arrowhead, to my disgust now. I can't believe I did that. But yeah, that properly got me into it. It's like, but then I had to wait because I was in my 20s, and you're not really into the metal detecting when you're in your 20s. You've got other things to do, haven't you? So yeah, absolutely. So all that silliness went on, and then when I got a bit older, grey hairs approached, and I thought, man needs a hobby. And I think me and my mother initially started doing a bit of detecting, campsites and stuff like that. And then I started to get permissions before I do it. Absolutely hooked. Got a big farm off a friend, and that was it. I was absolutely hooked. It was amazing.
What was your first machine?
Go on, have a guess. It's a bit cliche.
Garrett
125.
It was the Ace 250. Absolutely. Yeah, it was I think I might have had a few beers and I went on Amazon and I was like, oh, that one's got the best reviews. And then within about 2 or 3 months, I'd already upgraded, like so many people do, don't they? They go, oh, no, yeah. I'm missing so much with this. And went straight up to an AT Pro. My mother got one as well. And then it was quite some time, really, until I saved up enough to get the CTX 3030. I just went full. I just had to have that machine. Just loved it. And then Peter came on board, and really I haven't bought a machine since, bless them, thanks to all these sponsors and things. They do look after you. So I've had a wealth of machines, and I've been lucky enough to use most of them.
Yeah. And does your mum still metal detect?
She, in her head, would love to do it, but her body doesn't allow her to as often as she might want to, which is a shame because it was something we did enjoy together. But we will be getting out shortly, hopefully, and doing a little bit of beach detecting. She's going to get on the Vanquish.
Good.
But yeah, she had to sell her machine in the end. And it's worthy of note that I've never found gold, and my mother found a gold ring on a flipping campsite with a Garrett Ace 250 after about 2 weeks of metal detecting. It pains me. It really does. I've never found gold. And I think she's watching. Well done, Mother. Well done on that gold.
Yeah, you've got to walk over it, like they say. It's, yeah.
Well, we were taking a signal at a time, so it could have, I got a 2p, and then I think she got a gold coin, and then I got another 2p, obviously.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It'll come. But, I mean, because your YouTube channel, I was looking the other day, you've got a lot of subscribers in pretty much quite a short amount of time, realistically, haven't you? I think.
Yeah, I think it's gone quite well. It's gone quite fast.
Very well, yeah.
And I don't want to say anything. I don't want to put down other YouTubers, but I embraced the idea of a bit more production quality in the videos, and I think it's simple things like wind microphones, albeit my last video is a mess because the mic failed on me. But just getting a wind microphone and filming in widescreen gives you a huge boost over 90% of YouTubers who are just, you can't even hear the videos. So we're in a very small niche within metal detecting. And if you want to make YouTube videos and be successful at it, you don't actually have to work too hard. Whereas if you go into fashion or something, I'm sure you need great production value to get anywhere. So I think it's just one of those areas where you can you can do quite well quite quickly if you just look at the basics and get them right. And that's my advice for anyone starting out with the hobby. Just look at your videos. Would you watch your own video? Is it even watchable? And go from there.
Yes, sadly mine aren't. That's why I don't make many. although my historical and archaeological site visits are said to be quite informative, although my metal detecting ones are less so. Mind you, I'm due a new phone upgrade next month, which will be good because both lenses are smashed on this one. So
that'll certainly help. But for everyone who's doing YouTube channels at the moment, I think they're about 10, 15 quid for a wind mic on Amazon. You know, I'm not plugging Amazon, but anyway, you want to get them. That is not a lot of money to make a massive difference to your videos. Genuinely, give it a go.
Definitely. You do see so many where it's just a howling wind as opposed to being able to hear what the person's saying instead, isn't it? So.
And you're going to switch off. And there's people been doing it for years and not getting any subscribers. And it is basics. Just look at your videos.
Mm. Just to remind everybody that we will be going over live in about 7 minutes to Diggers Dips for tonight's free prize draw of some Diggers Dips tokens. And in a couple of weeks, we'll be having Graham Dempsey on in about 4 weeks from the Composite Pencil Company. And he's put together a fantastic prize selection, which will be that week's prize when he's in for his first anniversary as well. So congratulations to him on that, because it is a fantastic product. I don't know if we've actually lost Adrian or he's just disappeared into the background for the time being, but nonetheless, we will carry on. So obviously I met you at Detectable. Was it last year or the year before?
It was summer last year, wasn't it?
Was it last year? Everything sort of melded into one over the past year, I think, because of everything that's gone on. And we got to chat, but obviously you were very busy because I believe you recently discovered a hoard not long before.
Yeah. I mean, it is a hoard. I mean, I found 19 short cross pennies, voided short cross pennies. But of course, I bigged it up massively. That it was going to be hundreds and thousands because that's what you expect. You want it, don't you? But yeah, went full whole hog on. Do check out the videos; they're really fun. To be fair, they do show a process in my mind which is different from reality. That's for sure. But yeah, there was an area, I suppose, about 60 meters by 20 meters, which was bringing up these short cross pennies, and frustratingly, when I initially found it, only had a day on it really before the field was cropped, and the farmer doesn't let me go on there when there's any drilling seeding going on, so that's very frustrating. And then went back again, and it was drilled and seeded within the time I was there, so I knew I had something but couldn't do anything at all. It was infuriating. And then finally, just a few months ago, got told there's going to be about 6 weeks of the stubble just being left. So, do what you need to do. And I thought, right, okay, I've mapped everything out on the CTX. I've mapped out all the points of these coins. And let's get a JCB or a mini digger at least anyway over there. And let's start digging. Let's find, this source of these coins. And I did everything possible, absolutely everything possible. But we found, I think, 2 more coins over the whole of that weekend. So we're pretty confident that it's a purse spill, probably at best. But yeah, it's still classified as a hoard. It's 19 medieval short cross got in it, and I will never be unhappy with that. But the moment you start pulling them up at that rate, you start to get excited. You're like, yeah.
Now, I'm not sure of the CTX technology, but you mentioned about being able to map into the system. That's something I've heard. So you can actually tell it where you want to go on the CTX.
So what I did was when I first started to find them, I went to the spots where they were found with the CTX, and you can then create a find point using the GPS built into the CTX. And that is stored inside the memory. You can then take it back to your computer using Exchange 2 software from the MindUp website. It's all free. And you can then look at your find points on Google Maps. So by plotting every single coin, I could then look at them. And again, it's all on the video there to be seen. But you can then see, well, okay, is there a pattern to what I've got here? Is there a fanning out of coins from a source, or is it just scattered? And what kind of range does it cover? And it's really, really interesting and gets your mind going. And that's what I did with every single coin. So they had, down to a few centimeters accuracy. And it gave me a few places to try. But ultimately, it has just shown that those coins were in a small area. It hasn't actually shown that there's a nucleus, as it were. But yeah, that's software built within a CTX, and it'd be lovely to see another machine come out with something like that, to be honest, because I think it's very, very cool. And if you're a bit geeky with where your find points are and where stuff is, and you like to map out, where your Hammads are or your Romans are or anything like that, to have it built into your machine is excellent. But of course, the downside with the CTX is the weight to get you there, isn't it? So.
That is fascinating. I honestly didn't know that technology existed, and for me, for somebody who likes to collect information, that is, I'd say it's a game changer. But obviously, it's been there for quite some time.
Oh, it's a 12, 13-year-old machine, isn't it? It's absolutely, and it's not been advanced upon since, really, because of apps people's phones have been using. But put it in the machine.
Yeah.
You still got your CTX, Chris?
Absolutely. I got it out at the weekend because I got desperate. I love using it. I absolutely love using it. If it wasn't for the weight, and that's only contextual, though, because before having a lighter machine, it was not an issue. I didn't even care. But as soon as I got a Knox, I was like, oh, it's really heavy. Yeah, I love the CTX. It's a beautiful bit of kit. It really is.
It's nice when you're out detecting with someone who hasn't got one, and you can see on the map that they're going over where you've detected, and you just don't say anything and see if they bring anything up. So,
do you know what? I have met. I don't know if you've ever messed about. You get the data breadcrumbs with the CTX, so wherever you walk, it leaves little blue dots on a map, and I did try and spell my name while I was wandering around the field. But it's much harder than you would think because your lefts and your rights become a bit. Yeah, it didn't look like my name.
There's a few people in the chat room saying, is there an app available that can map finds? And Darren Booth says he uses an app called TectoTrack, TectoTrack, which tracks you and can record your finds and locations on the built-in map. So that's great. Pete Turrell, he asks what your text message tone is on your phone.
Just go away. Can you? Is there some way?
Pete, text him. Text him now.
Can you boot Peter Turrell out of the lobby? Is that possible? To be honest, I've just changed my phones, so I don't even know if it's on there. But it is a CTX 30. Cool. He knows that, is it? Yeah, you can download that. Bizarrely, that actually exists on a ringtone. I think it was Zedge or something. You could download a CTX 3030 ringtone.
Two Tones Detecting says he uses TectoTrack and he found it to be unreliable on his Huawei phone.
Well, more importantly than that, anyone who's got a Knox who goes in a field immediately sticks their phone onto airplane mode. So, ergo, most apps are pointless. So you need to have it built into the machine if you're going to use it. Or do it old-fashioned and stick flags in the ground.
I've just realised I'm losing track of time. So, Luke, can you share the screen, please? Digger's Dips Draw is drawing as we speak. Do apologise. I was engrossed in the conversation about the CTX and the mapping, etc. So, can you see the draw, Adrian? Yeah.
Good luck, everyone.
Okay, so it's 0.
Oh, low.
1. 1. So number 11 tonight is Fishmonger. So congratulations to Fishmonger. Your credits will be credited to your account by Diggers Dips. Thank you again, as ever, to Chris and the team from Diggers Dips for doing this for us. It's fantastic. And obviously that'll be back next week. So there you go. Thank you for that. Fishmonger, 10 credits to your account. And at this point, we usually go to adverts. So if we are, we'll go now.
Our most loved ones, kids, hooked on technology and disconnected from nature. And we, as parents, try to encourage them to go outside, explore and play, and teach them history. Yet, it seems hopeless at times. Nocta Macro. Introducing the world's first waterproof kids detector series. Mini and Midi Horde. Easy to use. Lightweight and compact. Find, discriminate, and pinpoint. Just like an adult's detector. Share your hobby with your kids to build great family memories. Let your kids discover a world full of adventure. Experience and excitement of discovery right outside their door. Mini and Midi Horde. World's first waterproof kids detector series for the young treasure hunters of the future.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Welcome back, everybody. And tonight's winner, as I said, was Fishmonger, who is also known in reality as Dave Reynolds. A little bit of information coming from LP is that the where are we? There it is. The Mini and the Midi Hordes are leaving the factory in Turkey next week and should be with your favourite UK dealer in about 14 days' time. Very much looking forward to them.
That is going to absolutely smash the market at Christmas, I think. It's going to go mental. I reckon loads of people are going to be after that. It's going to be
I'm definitely, as soon as it happens, I'll be getting the Mini Horde for the boy Sadler, Archeo boy. He's desperate to come playing with his dad, and the Simplex was just too big for him and too ungainly.
Yeah, but it looks, the interface on it looks really good. I love the way they've got a little LED that flashes green when you find a good find and stuff like that. Well, when it looks really, really cracking little machine, and for the price as well. I'm not being funny. The thing that frustrates me, Dave, and you might have done it for your kids, I did it for mine, is you buy that well-known brand metal detector that is available in certain supermarkets and things for like 30, 40 quid, and it's just an absolute piece of pants. I think mine's still sitting in the shed. Do you know?
Yeah, I've got one behind me.
Yeah, it's not really a metal detector. It's like something from the 70s, and it is just that about tut. And to bring something out that is a real metal detector for kids, I think, hats off to Nocta Macro. And they brought out the shaft as well, the new shaft this week for the Simplex.
Oh, right.
Well, I don't know when that's. I think that's is that available at the same time as the
Mr. Terrell, can you let us know about the new shaft for the Simplex?
Yeah.
I'm up until now, I've been trying to use square pegs around this one. It's totally designed for the age, but it's a proper detector rather than a toy.
Yeah.
I've not had a chance to tell Luke yet because we've both, obviously, it's happened today, but I had an email from a Chinese company, when it's the person contacting you is trying to be English, with a load of images of the metal detectors that they are selling, and they have a children's range which look exactly the same as the range that we are talking about.
No.
Honestly,
Already?
no, not the mini horde, looking like the other ones, the appalling ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. Oh, it's they're leaving the factory tomorrow. Be with us next week. The carbon lower shaft.
That's it. Yeah.
Shaft. I love that word.
Yeah. Well. What colour are they, Dave? Are they carbon fibre black shafts?
I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh, sorry. I'm reading what you know when you comment on the right-hand side of your screen.
They're all in black, aren't they? They're not in blue or red or anything like that.
No idea. If you go onto the right-hand side of your screen, Adrian, at the moment you've got private chat and comments. If you click on comments, you'll see everything that I can see. Pete says it's black carbon.
Black carbon. Cool.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
I like a nice, snazzy, sort of vibrant yellow, to be honest.
Yeah, well, the Americans are heavy into the snake skins, aren't they? And they're available some places.
I do like the snake skins that are on sale in the UK at the moment, that cover the wiring. I do like them. They're very sexy.
I've got a few packs if you want some.
Oh, I'll have one of them.
Yeah, I'll send them over.
Have you got 2-pack?
2-pack? Oh, God.
Joke's lost on you, man.
Yeah.
Hello, Chris. Yeah. Hello, Chris's head. Welcome back.
Sorry. Oh, Marley. Thanks for the heads up. I could have been doing anything.
Listen, what I'll do now, if it's okay with yourselves, I will share the screen again and we'll go and have a look at the images that Chris kindly provided this afternoon.
Oh, yes.
There we are. So, in no particular order, tell me when you can see them.
There you go.
There you are. That is a lovely image. Fantastic photograph of it.
Yeah, this came up. The video's just dropped tonight, guys. Go and check it out. But this was just a surprise. It was sunbathing, fell into the hole through some terrible pinpointing on my behalf. But I picked it up and it was all sort of very, very light green because it had been sunbathing. I gave it a couple of wipes on the trousers and it was just like, bloody hell. I've never seen a Georgie come up like that. Absolutely awesome. That is, I've said it in the video, for me, is better than a hammer coin. Absolutely immaculate. I'm looking at it now on YouTube. The photos come out well. The colours, everything is just fantastic. And the back is just as good. For
the viewers, Chris, can you just let them know again what your YouTube channel is?
Yeah, so it's the Discriminator metal detecting channel. Go over there, give it a subscribe.
I have done this evening.
Have you? Oh, well done. Welcome along.
Well, as I've said to a lot of people before, Chris, I don't generally have time to watch YouTube videos. I watch Luke's because I'm invested in what Luke does because obviously I get to talk about it with him because of our communication. So I always watch Luke's you dig videos and what have you. And there's several other YouTubers I'll pop into occasionally. So I generally not 100% sure who most YouTubers are who were introduced to me. Obviously, we were introduced last year, but I've just not got round. So I'm there now and I will watch.
He's got a good channel, Chris. I'm not saying that because he's on here, but he's I think one of the reasons he's got so many subscribers is because he just talks to you like you're there in the field. He just, it's a chat. And I'm very envious of your soil, Chris, in Norfolk. In Essex,
Good potato soil.
it is. In Essex, we've got a lot of clay and a lot of flint, and yours is lovely, loamy soil. It's beautiful, really nice.
I like what you said about your production value. And that's why I'm going to watch, just to see the production value, because as you say about listening to people when they're full of wind, and not just them, but the wind in the sky as well. It's so yeah, I will be popping along. Next up is this beautiful little fellow.
Oh yeah, do you know what? This was ridiculous. I went to a fairly new permission that I've got, and everything was cropped. And I thought, do you know what? All I'm going to do is I'm going to work the areas where the crops haven't taken. And there was a big pile of manure, and there was probably about 10 meters around it that wasn't cropped. And I found that Henry VIII in there, and as you can see, it's not clipped. It's a little bit smudged. I think it's double struck as well.
It does look a bit,
yeah, it does
3D, doesn't it?
Yeah, with the crown certainly, and a bit of wear on it, but actually, a pretty awesome coin. Never had a Henry VIII, and it came out of this tiny area. So I was like, Christ, well, if I can find that in just a little bald patch, I need to come back to this field. And then I did a couple of weeks ago, and the video is up about that, and my word, found a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's one of my favourite coins. You can see his clothing just brilliantly, his hair, everything.
Do you know what astounds me with this? Historically, we are led to believe that Henry VIII was a big fat man with a little beard. His coins do not represent what we think Henry VIII looked like at all.
No, not originally. I mean, he was an absolute stud of a man, wasn't he? He was a sort of 6 foot plus, mammoth guy, incredibly fit. It was only through illness and things like that he ended up being as chunky as he was. But he was a beast of a man. But
we the people who read about history. I mean, where were we the other day? I saw, it was at the car boot sale, and there was a figurine of Henry VIII, as we imagine him, the big strapping fat man with the little beard and all his regalia on. But as you say, before that, before his illness, he was a stud muffin. And we don't see the stud muffin. When you say Henry VIII, you don't see that, do you?
No, I didn't realise myself, to be fair. There was a show, I don't know if it was on BBC or whatever, but it looked through the clothing and the armour that Henry VIII wore, his original armour. And you can see from that not a large man would get in it. He was incredibly fit and huge, very tall for his time, so he was imposing.
It must have been similar to me. Anyway, moving on.
Sorry, I tried not to laugh then. No, you do pretty similar. Yeah, and there's the reverse. I think it was Dunwich or something. I can't remember. Durham Mint. There you go.
So it's an up north struck coin coming down south.
Yeah. We I don't know. Again, we never know why it's there, do we? But
no.
There's lots of coins covering the whole of Roman all the way up to modern in that area. So I would just go with it's always been settled as a marketplace area.
I think that the coins that astounded me the most that I've found in the past, there was a Druid's token from Anglesey, the Paris Mining Company, and I found that in near Jodrell Bank, and as many people have found the Nazi Reichspfennig. Found all over the country. I've found 2 of them, and it's just like, how the bloody hell's that got here?
Oh, it's nuts. I found a Russian kopeck in a field in the middle of Norfolk. I mean, what the heck is that doing there?
Do you know what nearly the best one was for me, Chris? Nice little story. I found gold, and I danced and I jigged. I was on my own, and I found gold. It was a 1893 Dutch coin. Can't remember what the queen at the time was. And I danced and I jigged. And I wasn't involved in the metal detecting community as much as I am now. I didn't have as many contacts. And I sent the images to a chap who owns a coin company in Northwich in Cheshire. And he came back and he said, yes, this is that. Could you confirm the weight? So I got my scales out and confirmed the weight. And he said, that's peculiar. It's a bit peculiar, that. It's a bit lighter than I'd have thought. So about 2 hours later, he sent me an email back. And for instance, just here where the arrow is, as you can see, in the tiniest of letters, and I mean minuscule, COPIE.
Oh my word. A fakie.
Yeah, a fakie.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Devastated.
dear. Well, you're in the same club as me. I've never found gold.
It was gold coloured. Now this is beautiful. How the face is rising out. It's again not very for the age. It's not very well worn at all, is it?
This honestly is. It's got to be my favourite coin. There's no way around it. It popped out of a field, and straight away I saw the Iceni horse just coming through the dirt, which is on the other side of it. You'll see shortly. And I just knew straight away it was Celtic, and I nearly fainted. And it's an Iceni berry-type diadem. Very, well, I say very unique. They're quite unique. I've never seen one looking with the face to the left like that. I've seen only one other version in a book that looked similar. And that's the tangible thing about these Celtic coins, is that potentially is the only one that looks like that. It absolutely, and it's a perler. There is nowhere on that. It was dropped the day it was made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrian,
That's better than gold.
Adrian, do you think Chris should have that as a tattoo or what?
I'd get it put. Well, coming from Essex, I'd get it put in a ring or a necklace and wear it. But no, that's really nice. That's really, really nice. I mean, I've found gold, but stuff like that to me is more precious. That is beautiful. That's really nice.
Yeah, a lot of the gold staters, I don't want to be rude because I know gold staters are amazing, but the designs aren't as nice. That diadem is amazing. The face on that just shouts at you across 2,000 years. That's 65 BC, that coin.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah, the other staters, they've just got a little bit of wheat or whatever on them. I know they're, I'm not being bitter because I haven't found gold, but I think that is a beautiful, beautiful coin.
It is. Shall we have a look? That's the reverse.
There you go. Look at that. There's
like
nothing.
Buckaroo.
I tell you what, I've never seen a dobbin on a coin look as good as that one.
Rent-a-ghost.
It's incredible. I took these photos today with my new camera phone to get as much detail as I could. And yeah, you can see the wagon. I guess it's the sun design in there. Every single little bit of detail. There is nothing gone on that.
That's lovely. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And
You can even see the strings on his legs, can't you?
You sausage. Yeah, you can.
Do you know, Chris, I think we're going to have to award you tonight the most well-spoken guest that we've had in a year of doing these shows. Congratulations.
I'm a family-friendly channel, and that's another thing. I don't say certain words that people do, and you've got to. There are guidelines if you want to be successful within the community as well. You've got to be family-friendly.
Kudos to that.
Yeah.
Another stunning bust.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
This one made me do a dance of a kind of a degree. I did it on an intro for one of the videos, but I ended up jumping through the air with excitement, nearly dislocating a hip doing it. But yeah, there's a field on one of my permissions. It's probably about 4 acres, so it is quite a square field, and nothing, and I mean nothing, comes off that. It's one of those ones where you walk over it and you go, I'll give it another go, and it's dead. I've had a musket ball off it in 5 years. And then one day I walk over, I get a banging signal, and this absolute perler comes up, which I think initially is a Lizzie, because I just see the Tudor shield on the back. The moment I squirt a little bit of water over it and see the detail coming out on this Mary, I was just unbelievable. And I thought it was a Mary, Queen of Scots, because I didn't know much about them until I worked out it was a bloody Mary. And that's one of the finest ones I've ever seen come out. Absolutely brilliant. And actually, a gentleman who I work with pointed out to me that Bloody Mary, I think, came to Norfolk to escape during the word that I can't think, like the retribution or something. I can't remember what it was. But, so there's a lot of history around her being in Norfolk. So that made it very tangible for why it might be there as well.
What do you think of that, Adrian?
Yeah, lovely. Where do you keep all your stuff? Not that I'm going to come around and rob you. do you just googling your address? Where do you keep it all on display? And because that's one thing I struggle with is keeping all my finds. And I don't like to have my favourite finds and my because some of my favourite finds are just took to most people, but to me they're something special. Like my first find, which, funny enough, on your YouTube, I was watching. You found exactly the same thing as me. My first find, it's like a little brass top lid with a little nipple on the top, about that big. Found
with a screw thread, or not?
Without a screw thread.
Brass.
Is yours screw thread?
I can't think which find is it. Do you remember the video, what it was called or anything like that?
It was a while back, but it was like a little lid. Brass lid that goes on something. It was my first find I found many years ago, and you found a similar one, and you said to your YouTuber, you said, "Oh, does anyone know what this is?" And I don't think anyone put in the comments what it was. And I've spoken to several people, Julian Ever the Heart, and lots of people come back with different ideas. But to me, it just looks, to most people, it just looks like a bit of old tut. But to me, it means quite a bit. But do you put your stuff in display in your room, or do you put it all away?
Yeah, so there was an Argos cabinet going for about 20 quid on Gumtree.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah,
so I just grabbed that. I sprayed it all white because I think it was some horrible colour. But yeah, sprayed it white. Got some of these LED strip lights, just run those through it. And I had to put an extra couple of shelves in, just some MDF shelves because it wasn't enough. But yeah, it's all displayed. You can get little, holders on various sites like eBay. Sounds like eBay. Sorry, my screen just cleared then. Yeah, and then the little coin capsules, I put them all in those as well because I think less oxidation, the better. I've started using beeswax actually. I tell you what, I've been given this recently. There you go. Thanks for zooming in. Which is a block of beeswax, and I'm gonna do a video on them actually. But the idea is you put your coins in the oven, and this is not for silvers. This is for coppers and things. And that's what I did with the George that you've just seen. You put your coin in the oven, heat it up, then you bring it up to your blob of beeswax, and it will just sort of dissipate over the surface. Then pop your coin in the fridge, let it go completely cold, and then buff the heck out of it. And not only will you seal your coin and stop the oxidization process, you'll get a ridiculously nice finish like you see on that Georgie. And this is from a local guy, Rob, who has his own bees. So. And do
you know what I use? I don't know if you can. All I can see on the screen currently is the picture still, obviously, because I'm sharing the screen. So I don't know if you can see it, but can you see that?
Beeswax.
It's a wood silk beeswax spray. Yeah, and a friend of mine put me onto that. And basically, I soak things in that and then buff them up the same way. And obviously, the beeswax protects, but. I contacted the manufacturers a couple of years ago. I can't remember who they are at the top of my head. Let's see if I can see. Arista Wax Products of Norwich, Norfolk. There you go. There you go.
Working for.
Go round.
They really called themselves Arista Wax.
Arista Wax. And so I've been using that for a while until Graham, obviously, his products came out from Composite Pencil Company. I use that, and I still quite regularly when it's full of crap and what have you, and I can't be bothered working on it as such. I soak it in that, and again, that works absolutely a treat. I actually done a review on the product on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine website, and all the information that I had from Arista Wax were actually on there because they do a number of products, but as I say, that being the beeswax one, it's worked brilliantly. So I can see exactly why you say that about the beeswax makes perfect sense.
Well, it's
Yeah.
natural as well, isn't it? It's a natural
Yeah.
ingredient.
Mm.
Whereas, sometimes, I mean, we
And
all
it,
just
and it
don't-
keeps bees in a job.
exactly, yes, which we need
Yes.
to support. Yeah,
We
but
do.
yeah, I do worry about all these. We put certain coins been in the ground thousands of years, and we try and preserve them how we think is best.
Mm.
And they might be fine for our lifetime, but our grandchildren or great grandchildren might end up with something that's sort of partially gone green and
Yeah.
rotted. We just don't know. So I think something natural, beeswax, good call.
Are we still seeing the images?
No.
What, the coin?
Oh,
or
yes,
the
now, yeah.
saffron,
Oh, we're back now, right? You are. So, is this the reverse of that then, Chris?
Yeah, so it's a little bit more worn, but that's what I first saw, and I think, like anyone, you just immediately go, "Oh, I've got a Lizzie sixpence here," because they come up so commonly. But of course, there's no date on there, which got me a little bit thinking. Then flipped it over, and there she was. Yeah, and I think it's a pomegranate. I don't know if you can see sort of at about 4 o'clock, if you can call it that, on the coin. I think that's one of the mint marks. There you go. Yeah, something like pomegranate. I don't know. I'm not great on all those things, but that was my recollection of it. But yes, just to go back to you on the fines cabinet, just very briefly. Yes, there's obviously you get a lot of fines, don't you? And most of them are junk, so they're in drawers out of the way, and then the real nice ones are out on display. And it's as simple as that. If something's very, very nice, it'll get put in the museum sort of part of it rather than in the junk part.
I struggle massively. My wife and my kids, they just get really cross because the kitchen, there's a pile. In the car, there's a pile. In the outside shed, there's a pile. On the patio dining table, there's a pile. In the lounge, it's just stuff everywhere. And the biggest thing I find is I get in from detecting and I try and go through my fines. And what I find now is I allocate a certain evening in the week just to go through and pick it all. But,
you need to stay on top of it, basically.
You do. It's one of the downsides to the hobby. I mean, saying that, some people go out, and I do. Some days you go out and you find bugger all. Last week, I think the best thing I came home with was a sack of potatoes from the farmer, which kept everyone happy. But I found bugger all. But you're right, it is something you need to keep on top of and register all your fines as well, which a lot of people forget about.
Well, I mean, this is a problem in Norfolk. I mean, I find myself in an annoying situation that I don't want to be in. I want to record all of my fines, and I send them all off. I send them all off. I send pictures and I send grid references off to the relevant people. But in Norfolk, they're so overwhelmed, and they had a changing over of flows. And being brutally honest, I wouldn't take anything in and hand it over at the moment because I don't think I'll ever see it again. And that's a problem, because you want to do the right thing, but you can't give up these things as well. They're worth a lot of money, a lot of these things, and you need to think about that as well. I want to do the right thing, but it's a problem.
Yeah, I was fortunate last year to find a medieval gold ring, and it's with my flow at the moment. But she was stressed out when I saw her last year with the amount of fines coming in. And obviously it's all on bits of paper, isn't it? Documented, and then it goes onto the database. And I still haven't heard about that. I'm confident it hasn't gone missing, but I get where you're coming from.
And that's just with Treasure Act, let's not forget, like that Mary Grote, I've told the relevant people where I found it, and they've got pictures of it, but they don't have it. They just don't have the time to deal with it. Even my hoard, I'm having difficulty getting it booked in. And you're supposed to only have 14 days. I've been sitting on it for nearly 2 years in one way or another. So, yeah, I know, exactly. But I suppose as long as they're aware that you've got it and you're doing the right thing in that regard, you're not trying to hide anything, then fair enough. But, yeah, gone are the days where I am methodically taking fines down to a flow and then getting them back 3 months later. Those days are gone in Norfolk. The hobby is so swollen, and people are putting through so many fines that flows are even considering what they should not record anymore. Crotal bells don't bother. Certain hammered coins don't bother. It's almost like, well, we're going to get to a point where just treasure items need to go through, and maybe that is the way it should be. I don't know.
Shame, really, but yeah.
It is, yeah. But also the way of recording needs to catch up because, like I say, I'm sending photos off and GPS coordinates, and actually I think that's enough. I don't think they need to have a physical item in front of them. If you've got a clear photo on a measured scale, a numismatist will know what the heck it is straight away.
Exactly.
And you don't need to be going through that risk. I've lost several things through flows already, and I'm not prepared to do it again.
Oh dear.
I know, it's frustrating, but it's not their fault because in Norfolk you've got one flow dealing with 3-4 times as many listed and recorded fines as anywhere else. No wonder they are flipping struggle with it all.
Fingers crossed it will change, so hopefully
Yeah.
I think what gets me is you can be in the middle of a field, middle of nowhere, take a picture of a coin or a ring or whatever you find, share it to anyone in the world, even video it, even supply the GPS coordinates, and you've been able to do that for 10 years now, and yet with the flows, it's not complicated to bring out an app or something to be able to do that into a database.
No. It's nonsense about going on a course to be able to book things onto the Portable Antiquities scheme, whether we know that is a Henry penny. I don't personally, see they're putting red tape again. I'm not going to whinge. The system's there, but yeah, there needs to be an app. Ultimately, as you've just said there, something that is tangible for us to use. That supply a photo and a grid reference, and they can do the rest if they really want to.
Well,
I actually think, I know there's somebody who actually has something, and Adrian knows them too, not dissimilar already in development. Am I right in saying?
Hang on. Is it Batman?
Don't know.
No. Yes, that man there, Scott. He's a very clever guy, software developer, and that's his business. He's working on that app feature. I know with all these things they have to get approved by the Google Play Store and the iOS Store, which it will be.
Good.
But yeah, Scott's a very, very clever man, and he hopes to be doing something very similar for that soon. So, yeah.
No, that's good. It needs, because I think there's a lot of fines that are not being recorded. And I know I fall into that category. As much as I'm trying to do the right thing, there'll be a lot of people who are just probably put off through the whole process and aren't bothering now. And I get that.
Well, I think for your own personal use, we all take photos on our phone, but they get stuck. You can take a picture of a hammered, and then your next picture on your camera roll is a picture of your kids in the paddling pool or something. It all gets messed up. It'd be nice to be able to have an app, and I know there's some out there, but a dedicated detecting app where you can take a picture, catalogue it for your own personal reference, gets the GPS data, you can create metadata in it, so you can put in CTX or Vanquish or whatever. You can put in the machine you were using, the date you found it, have I reported it, yes, no, does it, just an app where you can catalogue your own finds. So if ever the flow did contact you, you can just do a download, dump, or export it as a PDF or an XML file or whatever to someone to, have your own personal catalogue of stuff.
Mm. I know there's as well, Gary Broom spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, the UK DFD, UK Detector Finds database. So that's something as well that you could utilise, which again is not dissimilar to finds.org, but it's a private thing. And it's brilliant. Honestly, I've been looking on there quite a lot, and it's some fantastic bits and bobs on there.
I think the thing that a lot of developers tend to forget, though, is it's great when we're sitting at home in our pants with a can of beer on our computer, but when you're in the field and you've got gloves on and you've got a poor GPS signal and you want to record the location and a photo and probably a voice recording, there needs to be a way of doing that on your phone visually, whereas as we all know, a lot of forums and databases, the PAS one, they're not great on your phone. So a dedicated app would be ideal, definitely.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think we all want to do exactly what is asked of us, but of course, it's more complicated than that sometimes.
What we really need. Sorry,
Stephen Pettigan, I've got to jump in. He's asked, has Chris got beeswax in his hair? Carry on, Adrian. Sorry.
What we really want is a metal detector. This is a battery issue, but the way Tesla cars and things are going at the moment, battery powers. And I work in lighting, emergency lighting. So battery packs for emergency lighting. The technology is changing. It used to last 5 years. Going forward, it's going to last 10, 15 years. But a detector that has got an app built in that can sync Bluetooth with your phone. So you're in the field. It's got a mini camera in it. So it's almost like a smartphone. I'm not going down the smartphone detector route. We've all heard things about that in the past, but I won't go into it. Where's that gone?
What happened with that? Huh?
What song for Christmas?
Yeah, so almost like a very cheap camera in your detector with a LED light and a little bit of technology to locate the location. Take a picture, and then when you get home, you can sync it with the computer over Wi-Fi. But that will probably be in about 2042 when I'm probably struggling to turn my machine on, let alone dig. So,
a couple of things in the chat room. Tom Trussell was an interesting comment. He said he only realised today that Vicky coins were still in circulation in the 60s. No wonder there's so many worn ones. Tony Kaywood says his hoard of buttons will confuse the out of everyone. Thomas Terrell again says there's no FLO in Sussex again, already a backlog. Scotty B, he says, and this will interest Scott Holden, anybody interested in having a stall at DetectorCon in 2021, please contact Scotty B. I think I've already put them in communication. We ourselves will be there. Hopefully, if the world's allowed to at that point. Where are we? Adrian Altona says G-Detect app does something similar to what we've been discussing. He uses Tech Attack and it works for him. I've just checked as well for people who do want to look at Tech Attack. It's £3.49 on the Android App Store. Hey to Paul B from France. Hello, Pomsy, metal detecting, who doesn't look very impressed about the beeswax comment by Steve Pettigan, who's come back and said, you look very dapper, Chris.
Thank you.
Paul B, it's, thank you for popping in and seeing us live. And he's a big fan of Chris. We're here every week at 8 p.m. On the, I think is it the Peaky Finders? Luke's changed the name to the YouTube channel, but we're also live throughout social media. If you look for the Big Detecting Show, unfortunately tonight there's been a communication issue between Facebook and anybody who's trying to stream anything. We're not live bands, and it's not October the 1st yet. Pete Terrell, have you read that? Have you? His question.
Yeah.
Question for Chris:
well.
Are you on COD tonight?
And do you know why he's so desperate? Because his best buddy Ash Jones' birthday today. Happy birthday, Ash! 30 years old from Ash Unearthed, and he's got no one to play with because Ash is out doing his birthday. So he's all like, "I want to play God."
Is that a fishing game?
It's probably less rewarding than fishing. I mean, we do play it as a little LP crew together, I have to say, and it's a lot of fun. But the swearing and
do you have little LP logos on your fishing gear?
It's not fishing.
I know it's not. It's Call of Duty. I'm not that bad.
No, we don't. We don't have anything like that. I tried to set up a regiment of LPMDC or something it was, but yeah, that was about as much LP as we get involved. We, to be honest, don't want anything to do with metal detecting once we get online. It's it's time to have a bit of banter, isn't it? A man time.
John Hickey says he uses Google Earth and it can record all the data, including any other information he wants, including photographs up to 10. Simple to set up and easy to use on mobile. Is that, though, my question for that, is that private or is that automatically on Google Earth for all to see?
No, it's private. But the
You
only issue with
do
that is some machines having your phone on, like Chris said earlier, can cause issues. And you're also relying on the signal whilst you're out detecting.
True.
And
But also, you're not feeding it to the portable antiquity scheme, are you? So what you want is something that you do in the field, like you said, and when you leave the field, you know that everything that you've just done there is recorded, logged, job done, and you haven't got to fluff around and worry about it.
You see, my problem with that, Chris, it's one of the reasons I don't like making YouTube videos or any videos when I'm in the field, is that I get my phone absolutely rancid with mud. And if I've got the gloves on, it's just messy and horrible. So that for me would be the issue there, as I'm sure a lot of people otherwise.
And don't I know it? I mean, I had to set up my the YouTube charity called Patreon the other day just because my equipment is getting destroyed. I need assistance to keep the channel going because you get in the muck and you are using your prized smartphone, aren't you, in mud? Hopeless. But yes, okay. So not in the field, but perhaps something that you can use when you get home that accesses the portable antiquity scheme. It's difficult. If you're using multi-frequency machines, they're going to be affected by GPS signals. And hence why I say CTX 3030 software needs to be in the machine so that you can take your machine home with you and it will upload it all to, I don't know, your smartphone or directly to the portable antiquity scheme. That is the blue sky approach for me. You're going along, you press a button on that, fine, point, done. Perhaps you can take a photo on your flipping Equinox 800. What does it take to put a little camera in the back of that? Boom, job done, whatever.
Chris, you got Vanquish as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what I found funny with? I've got the 540 and the Nox 800, and I left my phone on with the 540, and it's a lot less interference or anything compared to. Yeah, give it a go. It's quite interesting. I'm probably kicking myself in the feet by doing it because I'm probably cutting out loads of signals. But yeah, I left my phone on the other month with the 540. And it was absolutely fine all day. And I found some good stuff. Found hammers and stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, just the nature of the beast, because I'm filming anyway. It's on airplane mode anyway, because the worst thing is you film something and suddenly...
Dave Sadler, are you coming on Thursday or what?
Yeah. Torrell, I'm coming on COD. I'm in the middle of a field. Do one. Yeah, so it's always in airplane mode anyway, but yeah. It's a good
540. All right.
I really like the Vanquish, I have to say. It's difficult when you've got a CTX and you've got a Nox to play with. You aren't going to necessarily choose a Vanquish because you always got that. I've got a better machine in the back of the car. But actually, it's so nice, and I think a lot of people will agree with me here. When you've got advanced machines, it's really nice sometimes just to grab a basic one, not even put your headphones on, and just go out and just pick up easy signals and just switch your brain off a little bit. And that's what I love about things like the Vanquish. And although I'm with MindLab now, I really enjoyed using the Simplex for that purpose as well.
Yeah.
Just going out, simple machine, and actually, because you're not discriminating so hard, you do tend to find the odd random things that you wouldn't find. So it's really nice always to dumb down sometimes to find things that you wouldn't normally pick up. So, yeah.
It's nice that MindLab brought out an update recently for the Vanquish as well. So it's nice to see. Hopefully they'll keep developing and updating the machine.
Well, I've actually been seeing a lot of bad press about Vanquish. I was looking into it today. I think it was actually posted on the Big Detecting Show site about the flimsiness and about issues since the update.
What, flimsiness of the quality?
The flimsiness of the quality of the machine itself.
Yeah, it's interesting, Dave, because I'm not one for being on social media heavily myself, because you can pick up. But it's interesting how the people are posting these on non-Vanquish or MindLab forums.
Mm.
And I think if you look at the people making these comments and where they're posting them, if I've got an issue with a machine, so let's say, for example, the Evo 6000 I'm playing with at the moment, if I have a query or a question, I will post it on the forum where there's other users who can help me out. I would not go and post it on a MindLab forum. So I think sometimes you have to look at these deep and think, well, why is this? I personally, this is about the battery cover, I think, isn't it?
Well, what he's wrote, this is Ian Jackson on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group. Just been looking at the poor workmanship on the Vanquish, the control box movement, and the YouTube video how to fix it. I shouldn't have messed about with it in the first place. Was going to buy one of those. Don't think I'll bother till sort it out, etc., etc. And then he's got multiple other people. Some have said it's good. One has says the Vanquish is cracked. It's his son's. And another image of the it's cracked. And you'll be able to see if you go on there yourself.
Yeah,
there's a small conversation.
The machine comes with a 2 years warranty anyway. I'm right, I think. MindLab 2 years warranty. So contact MindLab. Personally, if you've got an issue with the machine, go back to the manufacturer rather than hassle Mr. Dave Sadler with the.
Oh no, don't. It's just the Big Metal Detecting Show Facebook page is there for people to put any information they want, to chat, to put their images, to discuss things, etc., etc. Same as other groups, and obviously we can refer back to it for the show, like we're doing now. Yeah. So it's not bothering me. The only thing I have a problem with is people bombarding it with YouTube videos who have seen the disclaimer at the start saying, no, we won't put our YouTube videos on. Unless, of course, Chris, that you've actually participated in something, so you're all right to put your YouTube videos on there.
Yeah.
Every single metal detector that's ever come out has had some kind of issue or teething problem. I've used a Deus in the past, and I find that incredibly flimsy, for want of a better word, because it's all very like plastics. When you've used a CTX and you go to a Deus, it feels horrendous. But I'm not going to slag Deus off. It's just a different machine. I think the Vanquish, you've got to compare it against its peers. It's an incredibly well-built, strong machine compared to its peers. Yes, there's problems with the control box, plastics and things. My God. They'll get over those sorts of things.
Well, listen, gentlemen, I've only just realised it's 9:30, and obviously we try to wrap up the show about this time. I need a shave, don't I?
Your beard's not...
Hair needs going as well, look at that. Oh, sorry, Adrian?
You haven't bought some cheap dye for your beard from the car boot sale again, have you?
No, that's the same one still. It's actually tough. Hey, what's this? I sussed out this before. I said, Scott, this art, it's green, and it's got a green screen, and it's not working. Yeah, I had the lights on.
Gold.
It was, but it goes green, and it goes everything goes through it if you're in a certain light. Oh, there you go. See, it goes green screen.
Phasing in and out, yeah.
I was looking like Donald Trump as well. So, listen, Chris, I'd love you to come back in the future. We've rambled on about a lot of things, and obviously I'd like to concentrate in the future about more of your finds in the past. Obviously, we look at more things that you found in the past, some of your artifacts and what have you, because Norfolk, astounding for history, and it sounds like you got a lot of things. You've bought a big cabinet to show them, so I'm sure there's lots of things that you could discuss finds wise in the future.
Yeah, we're blessed, and yeah, you're right. It's full. It's a treasure trove. It's lovely. I wouldn't have one if it wasn't. So yeah, I'm very lucky.
And hopefully, if young Mr. Holden at Detector Network is able, I know he's been working on some things, but if he's able to, we will have an update in the future about this, the ability to register your finds directly with the Portable Antiquities Scheme via something. So hopefully that's going to sort itself in a few. I'm just scrolling through quickly. Someone says it's the first time I've ever heard someone call a Deus flimsy.
So let me just reiterate that. It's not that it's built poorly. That's not what I'm saying. But if you use a CTX and ask yourself, have you ever used a CTX? If it's no, then you don't know what you're talking about. But if you use a CTX and you go to a Deus, it feels like a piece of rubber on the end of your hand.
I'm with you, yeah.
It feels incredibly flimsy and light, and you don't feel like you've got any structure to the machine. And of course, that is just simply because you've gone from something like CTX, which is blooming iron bars of structure to it. Like if you're stubble bashing with a CTX, the stubble doesn't stand a chance. It's going to get annihilated. There is no such thing as stubble bashing. The stubble is gone. Whereas with a Deus, you may be finding what we normally find, which is that you're getting stuck in it and you can't get through it. And that's what I'm getting at. It's all about context. And if you look at the peers of a Vanquish, like an Ace 250, for example, the stem on that is wobbly and nasty in comparison to a Vanquish, which is actually very, very stable for a stem at that price.
Scotty B, don't go anywhere because we've got a video for you to end the show. And also, Adrian Altona is in the east coast of Australia, and it's 6:30 in the morning there. So we've actually got somebody watching at 6:30 a.m. So, hey, thanks for popping in, Adrian. That's brilliant. So anyway, Chris, an absolute pleasure. Love to have you on in the future. Obviously, we'll communicate better in the future. And we'll also hopefully have no Facebook issues because that's Facebook are just being buggers, aren't they? That's the best way I could put that nicely, though. How nice.
There's other words, but
a pain.
And Adrian, it's been a pleasure as well as ever. Thank you for your input and assisting. And as I said, Scotty knows what's coming. This is a video of Scotty B. So to end the show again, thank you to all the listeners, all the viewers. Detecting the Mitten, first time viewer, your show is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Cheers from Michigan in the United States of America. Gosh, we're going worldwide with this. Thank you to Chris. Go to the Discriminator's metal detecting channel to view more videos of Chris's. Thank you to Mr. Gaylor. Have you got a YouTube channel, Adrian?
No, I spend too much time reading this. Oh, green screen.
Green screen.
Oh, treasure hunting magazine. Go and buy it. Yeah, it's got an article in there in the next few weeks on the eBay.
Excellent.
So, and Greenlight Publishing, where you can buy all your metal detecting books and things about the hobby. So head on over to there, greenlightpublishing.com.
Brilliant. And next week we have Cy and Chris Weller, not Paul Weller, Chris Weller on the show. Not 100% sure who the co-host is next week. As Aaron's unavailable, I think Aaron will hopefully be on the week after on the 1st. And then, Adrian, you'll be back on the 8th with Mr. Martin Bass. So, again, thank you to all and sundry for watching. Apologies for those who usually watch on Facebook. And to end the show, Luke, can we share the screen, please, young man?
See you later, Chris.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you real soon.
Thank you kindly. Take care, everyone. Here we go.
Boys and girls, I think you'll find that my pen.
Scotty B. Scotty B.
No face, my legs are covered in outer space. Space pants. Space pants. I am wearing space pants. Space pants. My pants are space pants. Do you see my pants? No way, you missed them. My pants are a tour of the solar system.
You know what? Stop wasting my time, okay? We got a problem here, all right? And I want to hear a solution.
Let's go, gentlemen. Start talking.
I'm sorry, it's just kind of hard to focus with the
Our most loved ones, kids, hooked on technology and disconnected from nature. And we, as parents, try to encourage them to go outside, explore and play, and teach them history. Yet, it seems hopeless at times. Nokta Macro. Introducing the world's first waterproof kids detector series. Mini and Mini Horde. Easy to use. Lightweight and compact. Find, discriminate, and pinpoint. Just like an adult's detector. Share your hobby with your kids to build great family memories.